this one group for the whole time, Group B, and we're going to get to see how this all plays out, how everyone faces up against each other, and you can't ask for a better way to start.
Oh, hell yeah, bud. We've got Team Secret versus Virtus.pro squaring off in the opening series. I couldn't be more excited to cast. It's been a while since I cast a Secret game, my friend, and Virtus.pro, a great match.
They need to exact some revenge here for their fallen comrades of VP Prodigy, who just got 3-0'd by Team Secret at the replay final. They gotta be like, listen, you beat our little brother, all right, but now he's coming around the next day to pick on the bully that beat up his little bro.
I love the mental image I have of like Virtus.pro going up to VP Prodigy and like patting him on the heads, you know, like, good try there, boys. Oh, I remember when I was young, when I was a prodigy.
You know, I had that situation happen once. This guy was bullying me at school. I wasn't a very confrontational person, and I didn't really imagine anything was going to happen about it. And anyway, he was always like saying mean stuff and like throwing stuff at me and like spitting in my general direction. And one day, this guy got off the bus and then my brother just like put him in a headlock. And I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. I like that.
Wow.
Shout out to Big Brothers.
That's a real Big Brother moment.
It was a real Big Brother moment. I mean, usually he was putting me in headlocks. So like finally it came around to working in my favor, you know?
It's like, I'm an older brother, but I have a younger sister instead, which is a much different dynamic. You know, you don't have that same kind of like physical wrestling, like, I'm stronger than you sort of thing. It's a bit of a
horse riding competitions.
yeah, exactly. We just rode horses
in the equestrian world.
Ooh, your posture's fantastic today. Yeah.
People think I'm being sarcastic, but I'm being serious.
Fabulous. You really nailed those fences. Woo. All right, so what do we got here?
But seriously, who was the better rider? Did she ride too?
We were both quite good. My sister stuck with it a lot longer than I did.
So she was better. Is that what I'm hearing?
She has much surpassed. But I had a head start. So I was better at one point, but then I gave up horses for computers and video games, and she stayed with the horses. So
wow. Is she still riding horses today?
Yeah, dude. She's much better. She's like a professional equestrian at this point.
I was going to make the point like, well, yours turned into your career, but I guess if she's still riding horses, that's pretty crazy too.
It could have been fun to go pro as a horseback rider, a trainer. You know, on the lower level, it's mostly women, but on the professional level, it's mostly men, which is sort of a weird thing. I always wondered if I stayed the course, at what point do you notice the transition? Like halfway through college, do all the women just leave and then all the men come in? Like, how does that happen where it's a 90-10, but inverted the other way across children and adults?
I think how does that happen is a great question for how we wound up there as our draft has begun.
Yes,
we did have two Mounted Heroes banned in the Chen and the Bat Rider, so that's kind of relevant. But Nature's Prophet first pick into a Keeper of the Light, and who shall be the coddle partner? It's the Team Secret Rubik.
Well, no surprise. We know Secret. They like Rubik. They've got, well, maybe a couple of really good Rubik players, but one really, really good Rubik player. They hands of the Yapzor.
Man, Rubik is hot stuff right now. He gets banned first phase all the time. And I was thinking about that this morning as to like, why is that even happening? But then you start to look at like a lot of these popular heroes, and Rubik's just like, not only is Rubik already pretty good, but it feels like a lot of the heroes that he likes to play against are super popular right now. Like Weaver, it's a pretty popular pick. If you can get a Weaver every game, Earthshaker's very popular at the moment right now. I think Mars is pretty good too. Sealing the arena seems pretty free, and if you don't get the arena, you get Spear. Like unless they're gonna toggle their bulwark in between arena and Spear, and then after again, you know, like you have some pretty good options as a Rubik player right now. So I can understand why he's being first phased all the time.
He's also a good laner. Like Fade Bolt is super annoying in the laning phase.
And Arcane Supremacy is broken, first off, because you get everyone's spell, and then it's just better.
Yep. And Telekinesis is good. You know, another disable that's pretty easy to execute with a good setup, right? And now the Warlock. All right.
They've been trying this one on Virtus.pro. I'm not convinced yet.
Assume it's the 5 lock, right?
Yeah.
Just sitting in the box, healing up your carry. Okay.
That's right, buddy.
My first thought is, who are you pairing with this? What kind of I don't do anything in the lane carry are you trying to enable here? Spectre is still ingrained in my memory in terms of a Warlock partner. But...
As she should be. In fact, they just played Spectre, I believe, in their last game versus Liquid. They lost, but okay. You know, they got Lone Druided. Second the Spectre came out, they were like, Koik for Lone Druid.
I don't know. I'm a little iffy on heroes that have the really long cooldown ultimates. You gotta make sure that hero is really worth it. And a Warlock's ulti is stupidly long. I mean, the heal is really annoying, but spammable stuns, Trent. I'm all about the spammable stuns right now.
Man, I feel like I just watched a solo Warlock the other day, but that was actually 13 days ago. Wow. Could have swore that was like just yesterday. Anyway,
welcome to
apparently,
lockdown life, bud.
yeah, you're not wrong,
anymore.
dude. It's such a blur. But they played it 2 games, 1 win, 1 loss. The game I saw, I wasn't really feeling it. They tried it with an Ember in the safe lane, I believe, and it's like kind of okay, but you know, we're talking more so about those big hard carries like you were referencing.
And with the techies ban, I remember I saw Bait banning techies against VP. Is this just a VP hero now? Do they play techies enough that you've got to threaten this?
Zayat is just right? a fiend. Yeah, he will for sure pick it.
Are they like monkeys level with Brood, where
yes,
okay,
100%.
you leave the techies in, they're taking this? All right, I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
Maybe even more so at this point.
Wow. Is anyone else playing techies? Is it just it's a one player has got it figured out?
I'm pretty sure it's just them. I'm sure other teams are banning it. I'm trying to remember if there's anyone else I've seen lately, but nothing pops off. I've seen a couple teams, like more popular teams, just pick it like once every once in a while, but no one who's like a first round threat like Zayat's is.
Gotcha. Well, Pangolier now, some more team fight to go for the team secret lineup here.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling the Jug, and now I'm not so sure. I always think of Jug when I see the Caudle, because he gets like the Manta, and he has the spin, like the Manta for the blinding light, and then just the spinning to help kill the Will-O-Wisp. But killing the Will-O-Wisp is already so difficult. Beastmaster looks pretty good here for Virtus.pro. They don't have to take it right now, though. They can pick their other support, unless they want to hide the Nature's Prophet, I guess. So I'm going to take the Earth Spirit.
Ah, all right. Big fan of this hero.
Yeah, now there's a question of what's the Prophet going to do? Because we've seen a lot of teams picking these Prophets for the safe lane and even the mid lately. We of course assume that it's going to be Rezo. I think is like the safest thing, but even their last game, it was no one playing at mid for the Nature's Prophet. I still don't know if that should be your like default thought process with the hero, though. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of his power is the flexibility, right? You open with him, he's very open-ended. You don't know where he's going to go.
I think it's actually a really good hero for Rezo too, because he can just like buy Blade Mail and Maelstrom and just like play aggressive and not I don't know, like he shines on Centaur, but it feels like a lot of the other offlane heroes Rezo's still kind of struggling with, whereas the Nature's Prophet kind of plays like a carry out of the offlane, and I feel like that still suits him a little bit better for now.
That was the style we saw mostly in the North American Dota we were covering. A lot of off-lane prophets that, like MSS style, able to scale pretty darn well into the mid-game.
Man, it feels like a good puck game right now. Like someone getting leashed just would be nice.
Yeah. VP needs something to tie it all together. Right now, Secret have a decent amount of mobility between these two cores. Some very solid team fight.
Yeah, just like very well balanced, as you said. They can kind of go either way with their 10th pick on the side of Team Secret, right? They can play like a super fast draft, and the Monkey King can enable and like play with that very aggressive core, or he can just kind of make a ton of space for a hard carry as well, because he has like this Pango, Rubik, and Caudle too. This like it's a very fearsome foursome already from Team Secret. The 5th one can just be like, what's our win condition?
Sure, I like that. Troll Warlord now for Virtus.pro. I have mixed feelings about the Troll. He is, to me, the ultimate hot and cold carry right now. You have these games where he looks unstoppable, free farms a Battle Fury, then takes over the game, and these other games where he struggles in lane a little bit, has to go for like a Sanjin Yasha first item, never really recovers, never really feels that scary, aside when he has the ultimate active. So I don't know how to read it. Like, do you like the Troll here?
Yeah, I'm a pretty big Troll fan.
Okay. How is he in the Monkey King matchup, though? So I feel like MK has some options.
I mean, they probably won't be laning against each other, but then I think in the mid game, it's mostly about your allies. Like, because it's kind of like whoever is just getting chain stun, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, okay.
I think Troll probably has a slight edge just because of the way his ulti works, but Monkey's better in other ways, like actually enabling his teammates. Troll's just like you guys have set this up for me. Let me slam down this alley-oop.
does feel like sometimes teams can play around the troll a little bit where he just can't lock on to anyone and his ultimate almost works against him. Like the team is waiting for him to use it and then they run away and then the troll's pulled into no man's land and there's no saving him.
They're actually prepping a very similar draft to what Secret played in the last game versus VP Prodigy of the finals yesterday. They did the tricore of Nature's Prophet, Troll Warlord, and a Bat Rider. And so they did the safe lane Prophet, the mid Troll, and then the off lane Bat. Just like kind of hyper aggression, Sanjin Yasha first Troll with double Wraith Band, and just run at him with like he had a 26-minute Satanic on Matumba Man. That's so gross, dude. They won at 27 minutes, but and for the record there, Matu did win the mid lane versus a monkey. So if they go mid, we'll see if no one can take the victory on the troll. They ban Queen, so they're like, okay, well, they ban Queen of Pain. I guess we should ban Razor, because Razor's also pretty good versus Troll Warlord. That's fair. You know, those two heroes are in sync when it comes to the drafting phase.
Yep. And as you said, this Team Secret draft already checked most of the boxes. So you could very easily throw a Razor in here. It's like, yeah, nice, high tempo, steal some damage, follow up the Pangolier. Could have been a good pick.
I don't know. I still kind of like Beastmaster here. I feel like Beastmaster's kind of hype. Like, the Hawks are so good. He is the roar for the rolling Pangolier, and then he's just kind of like food. You put the Prophet on the safe lane, the Troll mid. And then if you have to, the Nature's Prophet could go mid if they try and counterpick the Troll in the mid lane. But I mean, it's still Troll, and you just banned Razor, so he's pretty hard to counterpick. That makes me think they want the Troll mid if they're going to ban the Razor. They take the Ench, so not the Beastmaster. Very interesting. So is that a Rezo Ench? Why is Beastmaster banned? Why would they want Ench over Beastmaster? What am I missing here, guys?
Heal? That's like the only thing that you've got two sources of heal now. You have a Dispel. That doesn't really help. Yeah,
the Dispel is the first thing I think of, but there's nothing. I mean, it's okay versus Monkey because you can get rid of the Jingu, but I don't know. Like, I've seen that kind of work, but I guess that's the thing. The Beastmaster
I'd call that a soft counter.
That's probably what it is, actually. It is probably just for the lane straight up with the Dispel. Because with the Beastmaster, if he has a good partner like the Caudle, and you have an Earth Spirit who can't help out that much in the lane if you're a Beastmaster. Yeah, Beastmaster was way better for the game, but when it comes down to the laning stage, the Ench is going to make a much bigger difference with the Dispel. So, good choice, Virtus.pro.
She's got that Skywrath type of ability now, so she is nasty in the harass at level 1. VP have pretty solid lanes, so she does tie that together. I've definitely underestimated the Enchantress in the past, so I don't know. She's a pretty fearsome hero, even with all the changes.
Kind of looks like a fun Arc Warden game. Ooh. I mean, isn't it always a fun Arc Warden game?
Ooh.
Yeah, like the rank like a Nature's Prophet. The only good thing, I guess, is like I feel like Golems are probably pretty good versus Arc Warden because they have such a giant AoE and the Fatal Bonds.
Yeah, I would call them annoying. I don't know if it's enough of a deterrent. They take Storm instead. Another pretty good choice here. Not a lot of lockdown on VP. You sort of have to get netted by the Troll or a Warlock ult or a clutch stun from the Earth Spirit. This should be a pretty good Storm game. And of course, that'll be in the hands of Nisha.
I like it. What's the Storm killer this game? Like Orchid, I guess, if no one gets it on the early end, but he doesn't necessarily want to go that build. Might prefer something a little bit more like right-clicky, or even like the mech like they did yesterday. Or not yesterday, it was actually a while back, but they have done like mech first rushes as well. Sorry. My days are all blurred together, guys. I apologize. There's a lot of Dota happening. I don't know if you've noticed.
Almost too much, dude. There's not enough hours in the day to keep it all straight. I feel like I've only been looking at Europe and North America. I have no idea what's happening in China or Southeast Asia or all these other regions that are also spamming matches.
That's a good point, dude. Because I used to actually keep up with every region when the full DPC was still going on. But now it's just like, this feels like 2013 and 2014 again, where everyone just kind of picked a region and then argued about it on Reddit because no one could watch the other region anyway because there wasn't enough time to.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately. Oh, man. Do you remember, like, 2014 when there'd be 3 studios casting the same game? Like, there would be 3 casting pairs casting every game. That was crazy.
I feel like we're getting back into those times. Like, it's all online Dota. It's all super disorganized. There's no roster lock windows. There's no appropriate times to trade players. It's just one team implodes, and they start pulling players from another team, and this cascade happens, and then Events are going on the entire time. It's a pretty chaotic time for Dota. It's a good problem to have. I'm glad we
Best
have
when you're a
tournaments,
viewer, dude.
But you know, I'd much rather this than not have any events to cover. But it's a lot, man. We were starting to get a little reliant on that bit of tournament structure. You know, the DPC and whatnot. We were starting to get trained for the, okay, we don't trade players except for this time when we're allowed to trade players. Now it's fucking madness, dog. I mean, that was Na'Vi had to drop out of this, I think, because they had some roster issues, right? Weren't they just recently replaced by Fly to Moon? That was it.
Sounds that way.
I got that news update yesterday. Well, I'm stoked, dude. On paper, who are the favorites here? Are Secret still like odds favorites coming into this?
100%.
Pretty good. Yeah, I would think so. And we're ahead of schedule today too, bud.
I know, crazy. I mean, I guess it's not that, but we're only like 40 minutes ahead, right? But we were close to being super ahead if they had a 2-0 that last series. My goodness. I was getting a little concerned. I was hitting up the WhatsApp like, sorry, wake up. I
think I'm going to leave my do not disturb off in the future just in case.
I'll give you the old WhatsApp ring-a-ling. What's your prep time? What do you need? You want 10 minutes? You want 5 minutes? You want 20?
Out of bed, I could probably get away with 10 or 15. I've done closer than that at BTS, Trent, let me tell you. Berlini and I had a couple of those literally roll out of bed onto broadcast. So what match are we casting today, dude? I don't know what's going on.
30 seconds.
That's when you got to wake up Gods to start the coffee, you know.
The good old days. No, that's LD. Gods was always a tea guy, and he only made tea in single servings. LD was the coffee pot guy. We would alternate who was making the coffee pot every day.
That doesn't surprise me that LD would be the coffee pot guy.
Yeah. East Coasters, dude. Coffee for life. Okay, so here we go. Game number 1, VP versus Secret. Bounty runes about to spawn. We got the Troll and the Warlock down bottom. Doesn't look like they'll be able to mount much of an evasion. By the way, shout out to HyperX for this awesome headset I'm wearing. Should have mentioned it while we were on camera, but this is, so far, we're giving it the endurance test today, the most comfortable headset I've ever worn. It's like there are pillows on my ears, Trent.
Exciting. I will get mine on soon too as well. I'm very excited about the mousepad. The HyperX Fury Ultra gaming mousepad. Guys, you have to Google this thing. You can literally light up your mousepad. You probably thought, wow, what do I need in a mousepad? And then you forgot you need more RGB lights. And don't worry, HyperX has you covered.
And then you realize that all of your LEDs are in your computer tower and not on your desk.
So how do you see them?
HyperX has got your back. And rainbows! So 2-1-2 now. Zayat's resolution up top against the Puppy Matumba Man combo. And what do we got mid? Storm versus that No One Prophet. So as predicted, Nature's Prophet mid. And this should be good for Storm. And so far, look at the CS. Maybe a couple treants in there, but still 5-3 compared to the 0-1 of No One.
Oh,
man, off to a good start.
Too. Yeah, it's quite the damage disadvantage that he's at right now. No one even starting with the Blightstone, which is going to help him to make up for like the last inning potential. Obviously, it hasn't yet. He's still 0-3. Dude, you know Niche is trying to keep that 0 for as long as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Does finally get one, though. But the Blightstone versus the Storm, like the guy's already got 6 armor, too, so it doesn't even feel that amazing, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And mid is one of the worst lanes for the Blightstone because you're so close to the towers all the time.
I guess it's one of the best and the worst for that, though, at the same time, right? Because, like, you're getting rid of the natural advantage that the guy's supposed to get.
Yeah. By paying for it, there's always an opportunity cost there. But you're right. It is a way to negate that bonus. You can see it both ways. Well, Secret should be pretty happy with this start. Mid lane is looking fine. And both safe lane carries farming about evenly, though Pango with a small advantage. Zai, of course, knows this hero very well. And putting some nice pressure on.
Yeah, and the Enchantress pick is working out pretty well. I mean, partially because Zayas is doing a really good job of manipulating the creep wave, and they've just had 2 waves now right in front of their tower, so that's great for them. I like the sentry down in the low ground on the river to make sure they can't block here. That's not often used, actually. That's a really smart place to sentry.
I like that. I don't know that I've seen that before. Oh, roll from Zayats up top. Resolution, putting some decent damage into Puppy. Could be your first blood, but tough for Zayats to close it. And it goes the other way. Matsu finds himself a first blood.
Oh, Bresso!
Has been killed.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That's a double for Matsu.
What?
It's almost like he thought he had Untouchable there for a second.
It legitimately kind of looked like that. He just walked back up. He really wanted that courier kill.
Well, that one's gonna cost you. Now Secret definitely happy with these lanes. Mid has leveled out a bit more. No one now, 9 and 9. Now the Monkey King. Gonna be the tall order.
Oh man, you can see how much pressure Rezo can even put on Matu as well. He already come down to half health, but that's so frustrating. Then give up a double kill in the lane that you were actually finding some pretty good pressure and good creep manipulation.
Yeah. Good old Mischief.
Yeah, it's a 20-second cooldown at least, so it's whatever.
Yeah, it's still kind of nice against Enchantress. She's got these long missiles that you can predict pretty easily. I still don't understand why he has that. Just, yeah, there you go. You get a little disjoint button.
Yeah, the original version, at least that's gone. I don't know why that ever existed.
Yeah.
You just get phase shifts. You know, you want to be styling on people, sure.
Yeah. Certainly feels like Ench is decent in this lane against Monkey, but
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
not a hard counter by any stretch. Even without that first blood mishap, like Matsu's handling himself okay. He's able to put some counter pressure on.
Aha, purged! The counter!
Oh, a magical tree appears in the lane. Now they're going to turn the other way. Great blinding light. Rezo in some trouble, but a roll from Zayats. The ponies knock off the Sal, but 22 HP. Resolution survives. Another close call. This time a small victory for VP as they don't shed a kill. However, it does mean Rezo's probably going to have to walk back home as he is out O regen. No point in
value
the wisp.
branch, ladies and gentlemen. Just keeping him alive there. He had like 20 HP left. You factor in the bonus regen from the stats and whatnot, and well, without that branch, he probably would have died.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, got every last bit right. That's why it's the most
Unbelievable.
value item in the game.
Cheapest form of stats, Trent, because it takes up a whole inventory slot.
Right.
That should help.
I think Zai's gonna be all right here. Help us up from his creeps. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, okay. Plenty of regen.
Not even close.
Well, the troll's having a fine time.
Is he? Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the monkey because he was dying.
No,
like,
the troll leading last hits, and now Matu will get caught in lane as the Coddle is looking to pull and get some
I feel better already.
lane placement back. And how did the bounties go? Heavily Secret favored. AKA
heavily.
Secret got 4.
that explains why they're able to get the kill on Matu too, though, because Poppy was completely absent, warding and getting the bounty runes. So
Kind of worth, though. I
don't
know,
call that
5-minute
worth.
bounties.
Yeah.
Would you trade your carry for 4 bounties every time?
yes, I'm pretty sure that's worth
think
it.
so.
That's two. That's 1,000 gold, right? 50 times 5 times 4. So
Yes.
that's pretty worth.
And mid lane, Nisha going in onto Zayats. Double damage rune is in the hands of the Earth Spirit. Might be able to turn, is now solos here. Puts out the Shadow Ward. Nisha doesn't make it up to the high ground. A bummer on that one, and he will certainly fall. Credit going to Solo. Looks like they wanted to hand it over to no one, but we'll go to the Warlock.
They tried to make a counterplay up top as well by chasing down Rezo, but he was able to narrowly survive. Didn't even have to enchant because he couldn't even turn around or else he would have died to Matu. And then he just salves back up and gets back in the lane. But they're looking for it again here. Oh,
Matu goes straight in, trying to get the Jingu back up, and Rezo just a little too fast.
I don't even think Orb... Well, would Orb matter?
Orb's
370
pretty
to
shit now.
385.
What is it? 3% or 4% for melee?
Yeah, that thing just keeps getting gutted.
It's pretty bad.
15% still. But it's the damage that got completely gutted.
Oh, it's the damage. You're right. My bad. Oh, Monkey King, though. They're going to pull a rotation from no one. They do find the kill.
Now your tree food.
Hey, come to my lane, enable me. I'll come up to your lane and help you. But now Zai makes the rotation. Doesn't have the 6 quite yet, though. 5.5. Now he's sprouted.
Blinding Light trying to help things out, but Zai going for it. He's committed to this kill on no one, and he won't find it. It's a double kill for no one. Maybe even more. Now Puppy, he's going to fall. Rezo finds the next one, 5-2.
Oh my god, they're both lined up down there. But he wants the big
finds
kill.
it. He gets no one, but now the TP out. It's going to be close, and no one makes it. What? There just wasn't enough damage from the monkey.
Wow. I really thought he was dead.
Me too, but no Jinku stacks. Fast fingers on the TP.
Nice. He's only hitting him for 55, 54, and 54. Yeah, those some consistent rolls there, Matu.
Prophet's got some armor.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And that was a lot of space for Nisha to get some recovery farm in the mid lane. I think much needed. Now going to have his treads coming out.
Yes, my teammates are feeding enough that I'm recovering.
No, still.
You're not wrong, though.
He's only 100 net worth behind no one. Like, it's...
Yeah, they weren't sure if he was rotating down bottom. They just threw a scan into the Radiant jungle to check, but then Nisha reappears mid.
Dude, Dota's in a weird place for rotations like that. You look at that last exchange and go, that was a clear win for VP. This was incredible. And you look at how much gold Storm got from just farming the lane and being able to work the jungle. It's like, it was a small win for VP. It wasn't really the epic, earth-shattering kind of rotation that it looked like. Kills just aren't worth that much in the early game.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing when your Earth Spirit is 1, 1, and 4, and he is still poorer than the Coddle, who's just been running around, stacking
Roaming's
and grabbing
dead,
bounties.
dude. Roaming is actually dead. Zayats is trying his best to make it look good, but it's a tough world for an Earth Spirit.
Roll down bottom onto Solo, looking for the easy pickoff here.
Yeah, he left the box.
This has become pretty popular too, the Necro build on the Earth Spirit. It's really good.
Oh.
Good idea.
So is it a stat thing?
I mean, they're just good, you know? I mean, it's an aura that they push, they help you farm more. Yeah, it's just like helps build on his already very natural tankiness.
Puppy. About to get sandwiched here. No one even joining the party. A nice 4-on-1. You kill our support. We're going to kill yours.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I do like this. It is very similar to what Team Secret did yesterday.
Are fortified.
They're just going to be able to rush this down.
Tower is under attack.
Main concern for them will be approaching the tier 2 towers because they have very good tools at backstabbing a set lineup that's trying to fight, right? Like, they have the Monkey King who just jump down on top of you, and then you have the Storm Spirit that can zip in, and then on top of all of that, they have the giant Will-O-Wisp. It's going to be a battle of the Will-O-Wisp versus the Golems. And if you can Will-O-Wisp to get that initial stun on the Warlock, and then he gets like Boundless Strike or zipped on and dies before he can ult, that's going to be a pretty bad experience for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what else I like
Draft
is they cut this ward here in the river. I don't know who did that. Maybe it was the Dire, but that's always really good versus Monkey.
So Secret has no shortage of catch and reach. Matu just going to walk down bottom, right onto Resolution. Zai pops the Rolling Thunder, and
do not complete that TP solo.
Oh, Zayat. No, they want to commit to this. Solo's here. Matu down pretty low.
Oh my god, dude, he's 9 XP away!
Solo goes down. No ulti for you, but they do get Matumba Man. Zayat's now in pretty deep. Nisha low on mana, but has enough for one more Vortex, and they'll find the kill. It's a 1 for 3. Now a TP out from Nisha will be successful. Big stuff for Secret here in the bottom lane is now Yapsor going to make a TP.
Oh my god, 9 XP away for level 6. Now I understand why he completed that TP, but it was still pretty bold. Thank you for the ping, Zari.
Yeah, my bad. I thought you had to click it. You just have to press Alt. That's my inner pub coming out there.
Yeah, that's right. You weren't trying to be toxic all those times. You just thought you had to click it. That's a great excuse. Your Warlock's definitely going to buy that. I wasn't flaming.
I was just trying to let you know retroactively that your ultimate wasn't available. Yeah, thanks, bud. It's my favorite thing to say to people in pubs. I know, dog. I was there. I saw me miss it, too. I had a front row seat. Thank you. Nisha working the neutrals.
Bottled Haster in here.
Dude, he's got a jelly, too.
Smoking.
Bottom tower is under attack.
He got the jelly. He's got the jelly and the Ironwood Tree. I swear, this Ironwood Tree, guys, 6 attributes. That's crazy. That's a lot of stats, man.
Oh yeah.
That's like a belt of strength in every attribute. Like, what is that? Why is that a thing?
Well, because the item doesn't really do anything else, you see. So,
Neither do the other ones early on.
well, that's sort of true.
Haste.
No one.
I mean, except
looking for
Faded
something-
Brooch. I don't know why that thing's still tier 1. That thing's busted.
Like Keen Optic is okay. It gives you a little something.
Radiant's courier has been
Prophet down bottom, rolled on by Zai. An awkward fight here, but Secret moving in like they want to make it happen. Ignis comes down. They get the Warlock. They've killed 2 couriers as well, and this Ignis is going to keep ticking. Nisha's starting to clean things up. They've gotten 2. Resolution likely to be the 3rd. Slow auto attacks, but they will find it. A triple kill for Nisha. And great setup from Team Secret should yield this tier 1 tower in the bottom.
You know how
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
good teams just make Dota look like
Radiant's
kind of
bottom
easy?
tower
That's
is under
the reason
attack.
why is because the perfect way we described how the fight should go down for Secret, they just
Radiant's
do that.
bottom
They just
tower
put themselves
has
in the
fallen.
position to make sure that's going to happen, right? They throw down the Will-O-Wisp. They have the forward vision from the Monkey King. They spot the Warlock.
Radiant's
They
middle
blow up the
tower is
Warlock,
under
and then it's
attack.
just clean up after that. You know, get out the mop and bucket. Aisle 3 in the bottom lane. Everyone's dead.
Yeah, they're just so in sync. And when Zai knows he's got a team to back him up, he can start fights like that. Just cast Rolling Thunder and Vision, go cruising into the back line, not caring the world. Because all he's trying to do is take some focus, create some chaos so that Puppy can come in, drop the big ultimate, and then after that, it's pretty darn easy for Nisha. They've taken all the focus, and he's just running around playing cleanup. It does have a Kaya now, and Yule's Scepter going to be out next. Still space for Troll, though, who is close to top of the net worth, looking for the Battle Fury. Haven't seen him really get too involved yet. They will find another
Rezo.
kill onto Rezo in the bottom lane. Zai once again with the Rolling Thunder. And mid. Nisha actually going to go in onto the Earth Spirit. We just fine.
Man, I was expecting it to be Virtus.pro who would be like pressing at that point, but they're actually going to lean off a little bit. They're going for the Battle Fury on the Troll, so maybe that's why they haven't been playing quite as aggressive. Also, the fact that no one's not as far ahead, at least like item-wise, as the Storm. He actually just caught up a lot. He was like way further behind the Storm just a minute ago.
Yeah, I'm just
got
going to go.
Way
So
more
how's
front, but
this?
he needs that Orchid.
How's this Orchid timing going to look? Because Storm is going for a Yule's, and I think they're going to come out at a fairly similar time. Storm, Speak of the Devil, going to jump in onto Zayats. Does grab the rune. Zayats rolls away. And Nisha not going to jump into that. Oh, the Orchid's out on the Prophet. Oh my, okay.
Yeah, he just finished it like a second ago.
I thought he was still a recipe out. Mabi. This is a
Couldn't get
nice,
TPs,
nice
though.
little window for no one.
Yeah, if they play too aggressive, though. But I guess if they lean back too far on the side of Team Secret, then you have this Battle Fury being complete for ILTW. As Rezo again jumped on up top, and he just does not feel that tanky.
And Yapsor mid gonna also get caught. Gonna be a 1-for-1, I think. Oh my gosh, they're gonna let him get away. No!
The catapult.
The fatal
Too much
bond.
HP.
Yeah, it was a good try for Yapsor.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, I would agree with what you just said, except well, I guess the Troll doesn't have the Battle Fury yet. Hopefully this lets him accelerate, because Secret is still working the map pretty efficiently. It's only
He's
a
got it
3
now.
kill
It's
lead
flying out.
and a 4K net worth advantage.
Invisibility.
Oh, around Roche. Puppy.
Radiant's top tower.
Zayas has a sentry, but he wisely doesn't drop it because he would have lost it instantly anyway.
Oh, Warlock ult comes down. Not going to be enough to save Zayat, so now they're just going to run down Solo. This is that double whammy where you end up dying anyway and waste that big 170-second cooldown. Now Solo's Golem. Okay, they're not going to commit for it.
Deny the tower, Rezo. Yes.
Radiant's top tower has been denied.
Sweet deny.
Oh man,
BKB.
now Matu's just gonna get out too, as no one was coming down bottom.
ILTW. What are you thinking about this Troll right now? Are you liking the angle to go Battle Fury, stay pretty passive, and just focus on economy for the early game? Like, what's your read on this game right now? Are Secret going to run away with it, or do you think this Troll's going to rubber band? Oh,
If I had to guess, they're pretty far behind. I think a lot of it's gonna come down to the Roche fights, and then I look at how they're both built for the Roche fights, and it feels really good for Team Secret. Like, even if they purely 5v5 with the Roche pit fight, it looks okay unless Solo gets this like incredible ulti. but more importantly, it's very likely that Secret are going to have the better vision leading into it and are more able to just get a pick off. And I feel like that's going to really help them to just like secure up this Roche.
Secret are way more scary around the pit. Warlock Golem's good, but you've got Rolling Thunder, Ignis, even the Wukong's command. You can just create this pit of doom around Roche that you can't enter.
And if you're not careful, then they might also get Chaotic Offering too. If Yapsor steals it, right? So,
yep. Let's just force Space Creators for Storm then to zip all over the pit, abuse all the vision mechanics in that area. It's nasty. I think with VP, you either got to sneak it with the troll or go for some sort of pick-off kind of play and then look to take it. Down
here we
bottom.
go, Orchid down bottom.
They are going to go in on the Matsu. The Orchids come out. Not that much follow-up damage, and Puppey backs up with the ult. Big-time lifesteal with the Jingu, and Matumba Man is going to turn it around. No one's dead. They're also going to bring down Zayats.
Great positioning by Puppey. He's so good at doing that, at shadowing his cores like that.
Yep. And
He's just always there.
Freebie on solo. Bumps into the Storm Spirit, who now has the Yule Scepter. Also a double damager.
Middle tower is under attack.
Team Secret, ladies and gentlemen. As you
Radiant's
said, making this look
structures are
easy.
fortified.
It just feels like they took that fight down bottom and that was it.
Radiant's middle
You
tower
know?
is under attack.
Suddenly we are in complete control of this game. The Deso's done. Roche is a
Radiant's
very
middle
easy
tower
avenue
has
for them
fallen.
whenever they want. I wouldn't mind them
Radiant's
pressing this bottom tower,
is under
but
attack.
I guess they're worried about the golems coming back. They're going to try the sneak. They're going to say, okay, hopefully they stay
All
for
right.
the bottom tier 2.
I
We're
like
going to
this.
take Roche.
As
They can
mentioned,
also TP in no one.
this is
Oh, he doesn't have it for 10 seconds.
one of few ways to make this happen, and I love the idea of just putting Rezo in here.
Oh, that courier's coming, though.
Tank it up.
Dude, they're getting
Radiant are
busted.
scanning.
Are they going to get here in time, though? Roche falling reasonably quickly, down to about half
Dire's
HP. They see the
courier
courier.
has been
They'll
killed.
kill it, but they do back out of the pit straight away. Good game sense from Secret here. Baiting enemy
Virtus.pro
territory.
had this ward on the river. Saw the courier coming. That's why they ditched.
All right. Honestly, good vision for both sides around the pit. There's this little maze of observers and sentries.
Oh, yeah, there's some in behind, too. I need to see that one.
Yeah. But both sides with some decent intel here, and now posturing around the pit. VP, they're going to get initiated on. Nisha jumps in,
pull.
catches Zayat in the middle of a roll, pops the Earth Spirit. Now VP going to have to back out. There is a buyback available on the Earth Spirit, but they're going to lose solo also as Zai jumps in. Now it's the Troll, a non-factor as he gets completely isolated. God, Zai always finding the angles with that Rolling Thunder.
Oh, man, he's 75 gold away from buyback, too.
Well,
I don't know if... do you buy back and try and fight this if you're Radiant? Probably not. Even if you had the Troll.
I don't think so.
Well, now you got to rely on some split push and the big
Roshan
play
has
from
fallen
Solo.
to the dire.
That's going to be the way to get back into this one, but the split push gets very difficult when Monkey hits level 15. Gets the 475 Tree Dance cast range. Matu can just be all over this map. And now, even no one coming in up top here. Dangerous place to almost TP into.
Zayat's chilling.
Finders, keepers.
Hey, gets his Necro book. Yeah, I don't know. The way this Troll is building, it certainly can be a winning strategy, but Secret are sort of going this opposite route of like, well, why don't we just try to win the lanes and just win a couple of early fights, and then we'll just use that momentum to get further ahead. You know, it seems like a much more straightforward game plan compared to the song and dance that VP have had to execute of this 4+1, trying to make space for the Troll, but then find the timing when he can actually pop off and fight. They're going to get Rezo again in the mid lane.
You had your warning.
This is the dark side of the Enchantress. Amazing in the lane, but once the game breaks open a little bit, she can be very susceptible to these kind of rotations.
Yeah, she has some problems with the core, for sure. Oh, they actually broke the tree with the Will-O-Wisp while he was jumping, I think.
Matsu maybe in trouble. Out comes the ult from the Warlock, but now he's going to get jumped on by Nisha. They destroy Zayat, and it looks like another clean fight for Secret. Monkey King is also like the perfect core to be sitting in these positions. Every fight, it seems like he's definitely dead, and then he gets the full life steal all the way back up, and there's your reset.
So to be clear, they stunned their own Monkey King and still won the fight. GG.
Next level strats, dude. Okay. VP not going to waste any time. I honestly don't think that was even an early GG. They had so few opportunities to claw back into this one.
Yeah. Team Secret, damn, they hit those timings so well. They just know like exactly when they need to go and make that aggressive move down towards that tower, and they execute it perfectly. And then the game just gets so like I want to see the grab at that point. It's just like I think that was around like 12 minutes where the win probably just like spiked in their favor. But even Dota Plus was still believing for a while there until the Roche happens, and then it's like the full on collapse from there, like the getting forced out of Roche and whatnot.
A rough game for the troll. ILTW. He was 0-1-1. He killed 208 creeps. All he did was farm that entire game. The troll didn't get to do anything fun. He just sat alone in the lane, got a Battle Fury,